The question that everybody's asking today apparently is the economy good or is the economy bad? There's plenty of evidence on both sides, and markets are now having another day of reacting to various kinds of news. I think one of the ones that they were most concerned about was some idea that there might be a backstop for the failure of these AI companies, or that, when they run out of money or they run out of customers or something, that somehow Sam Altman is going to get the government to bail them out. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But that was a concern that it would even be suggested by their financial department. Anyway, in addition, investors are wondering whether the bad news that they're seeing, like the consumer confidence or consumer sentiment index numbers today, is bad enough to keep the Fed online to give us 25 basis points, or whether the good news, like GDP now, which is still showing 4% increase in GDP for the third quarter, whether that's too good and will cause the Feds to pause and wait until January for that cut. Anyway, right now there seems to be more angst about the big spend problem and about potential bubbles than there is about the generally good news. So for now, the markets are down. And of course, each day it's been kind of the flip. We've been going back and forth, back and forth. And for Tesla, the shareholders meeting is clearly the key thing we want to talk about today. But I don't think the stockholder meeting is having any impact on the share price today. It would appear that Tesla is following the market around, and it is, of course, part of the tech field. So it's getting hammered along with the rest of tech. Anyway, let's talk about the shareholder meeting. My overall take is very clear. The future of Musk enterprises, all of them, is eye-watering, eye-watering in its audacity and its scope. And yet, what else is new? The eye-watering ideas of building electric cars at all 20 years ago are becoming the largest producer of a model of electric vehicles at all, are the largest. The Model Y is still the number one selling car in the world. That's an eye-watering idea 20 years ago. Now we have more eye-watering ideas like we're leading already, again, between the Musk enterprises, leading in the AI massive data center development. I mean, ahead and likely to stay ahead, leading in AI data center development of the real world data centers, which is, the Austin facility for Tesla. Nobody's even close, but also leading in data. Huge lead in real world data and a massive data center that nobody has anything that's even on the ballpark. And then intentions to add tens of billions, Tesla, not XAI, Tesla, with intentions to add tens of $1 billion of additional data center capacity in order to train Optimus. And then there's the clarity of the future based on the Fed, um, I'm sorry, the BYD, FSD I misspelled the thing that I made FED instead of FSD. Anyway, of FSD, unsupervised being months away, that Musk is reiterating. I know I'm on vacation right now. I shouldn't even be doing this show. Anyway, he also says he's so excited about what's coming with unsupervised that factories will start to ramp up for a 50% increase by the end of 2026, another almost 50% increase by the end of 2027, and a 25% increase by the end of 2028, getting us to 5 million cars per year. Now, in the past, when Elon has said these are the numbers he's planning to ship in terms of cars, the numbers have almost always come true. The last couple of years, what has he said? He hasn't made any predictions at all. And he's already said, hey, it's going to be rough out there. Well, listen to Elon. Now, the news today is focusing on the pay package as if it's something they can understand, they even try to understand. Well, it turns out some do. Obviously, many are confused about the reality that it's a way better deal than, say, paying him $1 billion or so per year and hoping he earns it. This is first he earns the money and then he gets paid. And if he only earns 80% of it, we get the benefit and he doesn't get paid. Anyway, here are the top 20 key takeaways from the Tesla 2025 annual shareholders meeting. We'll start with this: Elon Musk $1 trillion pay package was approved with 75%. That's the largest such vote ever. Shareholders approved that 75% in favor. And then number two, potentially build a chip fab because the combined efforts of Samsung and TSMC, and maybe throw in Intel, their combined efforts, and this is between TSMC's fab capabilities in Taiwan and in Arizona, Samsung's fab capabilities in South Korea and in Texas, and then Intel's more limited fab capabilities, all together, what they can sell to Tesla over the next 5 years is not going to be enough to take care of Optimus. So he may have to build a massive 10 building fab, 10 fabs, making up this huge, massive fab capability. Then you got mission now has changed to sustainable abundance. And that would be encompassing EVs, solar energy, autonomy, Optimus robots, charging infrastructure, all the things we know about, everything to create a more prosperous future with the goal of making everybody prosperous. Then we've got Optimus as Tesla's biggest product ever and the number one product ever in human history. And I think everybody can agree on that. I haven't really seen even from Tesla Q, I haven't even seen from those guys the idea that Optimus, if it works, won't be the biggest product in history. An infinite money machine that is what he's calling it, or a money glitch that will eliminate poverty, provide superhuman medical care and surgery, and become bigger than cell phones. It's fundamental to abundance and safer than humans. Then we got the Optimus production ramp. He's targeting $20,000 price target at scale. And we get all this confusion about price and cost. I'm pretty sure he's talking about cost of 20,000, but maybe he's talking about sell, because you may remember that Scott Walter and I came up with a all-in componentry at around 6 to 7,000. Now that was far fewer actuators, but even with as many actuators as now, maybe it's 12 or 13,000 to build it. So you could sell it for 20,000. Anyway, he'll make 1 million a year in Fremont, then 10 million a year in Giga Texas. And he says, I don't know where I'll put the $100 million bot line. The Generation 3's lines will start next year, and then aspirationally 4 million per year by the end of 2027, and potentially billions, including maybe making them on Mars. FSD unsupervised is imminent. 14.3 will enable fall asleep and wake up at destination. Texting while driving soon allowed. 85% fewer crashes with FSD use. Unsupervised rollout in months based on safety data. Robotaxi expansion. Services to add Las Vegas, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, and Miami. As we know, no safety drivers in Austin by the end of the year. And so production starts on the Cybercab in April, as we've heard. Now, they got the Roadster also planned for the reveal on April 1st. That's going to be the reveal and the most amazing product demonstration ever. Even it may not succeed. It'll be a product demonstration like the Cybertruck window. Maybe some parts of it won't work, but the reveal will be on April 1 no matter. And then production will be about 12 to 18 months later. So some of you folks that have put your deposits down, there's at least a chance that a year and a half from now, you'll see your car. Tesla semi-volume. Volume production starts next year. Still planning on 50,000 units per year in the Nevada factory. 500-mile range, 1.2 megawatt charging. XAI investment consideration, which the people voted for. Well, the proposal passed a majority, but there was a lot of abstentions. The board said, you know what, we're still going to look into it and see if there isn't a way that we can't do that. And Elon spent a lot of time saying, yeah, we need a way for Tesla investors to be able to invest in in SpaceX also. He didn't talk anything about an IPO for Starlink, which he has talked about in the past, but he said we need a way for Tesla investors to also be able to get a piece of what's happening at SpaceX. Then we got Cybercab and unboxed manufacturing, purpose-built autonomous vehicle, production April of 2026, regulatory approval pacing the development. Yeah, so he says, okay, people say, well, what about the regulatory, da da da. He says, look, I think that the regulations are going to be approved at about the same as our ramp happens. Also, we'll start getting these regulatory approvals. He thinks, there might be times when it's a little off, but that's roughly what's going to happen. 4680, one of the questions I've been asking over and over again. He says the dry cathode production was way harder than expected. And that if he'd had it to do over again, he wouldn't even do it. That the cost savings was not enough to justify it, but the dry cathode factory is about ready to run, and so we will see substantial increases in 4680 production. They're going to use them, continue to use them in the Cybertruck, the semi, and in the semi. Okay, did you know they're going to use them in the semi? I didn't know that until yesterday. And then also Cybercab is going to use 4680. So I guess he is planning to make a bunch of these things. Says the Model Y is again the world's best-selling car. I mentioned that again. And also the Model 3 is the top premium sedan in the world. And of course, every car is designed for autonomy. Optimus will ultimately be better than the best human surgeon. It could provide humane crime containment by just following offenders around. So when you get adjudicated, instead of going to jail, you just are assigned a robot, or a robot is assigned to you, and it follows you everywhere. So I think that's better than jail. Far does it follow you into the bedroom? Far future visions. Optimus with Neuralink, human consciousness snapshots. Maybe you'll have the ability to download your soul, so to speak, download your entire brain with your memories and your ability to reason and everything into an Optimus or something. Yeah, it's way out there. Board of directors reelected. The stock plan was refreshed. The old stock plan, they gave us a new stock plan that would take over in case Maryland, whatever that state is, country. Yeah, in case the old stock plan is thrown out by the courts, then this new one would take over. It's much, much smaller, but it would give him something for his work that he produced during that time. It highlighted Tesla's shift towards AI, robotics, and autonomy, with Musk emphasizing performance-based rewards and long-term abundance. Stock reacted positively initially, but has been trading flat overnight and now is down like 4%. Now, out of all that, and that was what Grok produced for me out of the meeting yesterday, and I threw in some of my own color there. Nothing was mentioned about what do you call it? Putting some of this data center in space, which was talked about quite a bit, as well as the idea of inference, being able to use the inference in your car and in the robots. We've been going over that for days now with Brian Wang and Phil Beisel providing amazing information about that. There'll be another, no, I think that's the end of the series, but I think there will be more pieces to the series now that we know more. Now, to my surprise, Reuters is out today with an article that's almost 100% right about the pay package. How about that? So, Matt Britzman, senior equity analyst at Hargreaves Lansdowne, says a $1 trillion CEO pay package is outrageous. But so are the Everest-sized milestones Tesla must conquer in order to unlock it. For shareholders, it's the ultimate alignment. Musk earns nothing unless he creates staggering value. And if he pulls off the unimaginable, investors will be sitting atop an $8.5 trillion titan. And by the way, as many have said, if he hits if he hits the actual tranches, the company is probably worth more like 16 trillion. 2026 looms as a watershed moment. Critics call key man risk, and they're not wrong, but investors have spoken. The Musk premium is alive and well. Mike O'Rourke, chief marketing strategist, Jones Trading. There's no doubt Musk has the ability to execute the impossible in this business world. With Tesla's EV businesses on the decline, we're not surprised Musk has not abandoned ship and simply used this genius in his private companies. For that reason alone, it was worth it for shareholders to grant the package. Nonetheless, it's highly unlikely this works out well when a $1.5 trillion company needs to award $1 trillion pay package to the richest man in the world. That's a weird statement. That's bizarre, isn't it? Chris Beauchamp, or whatever, chief marketing analyst, IG Markets. If it's performance-based stock option, then it's not necessarily the requirement to provide it the pay all up front. And if he grows the company to 85 trillion, then the question will answer themselves. So I don't think it's particularly concerned about how they'll pay for this. The board has taken some, of course, we already know how they'll pay for it. They'll pay for it with stock options. It's all spelled out. Fool. Anyway, the board has taken some steps, but the question is really where Musk sees his focus lie. The lofty goals he's been given require a lot of attention, and whether he continues to keep so many plates spinning is another matter entirely. Yeah, if he ages, he can't do it. Yeah, not going to happen. Russ Mold, investment director at AJ Bell. There are logical reasons for shareholders to have given their assent. To reach the astronomical headline figure, Musk must hit some extremely demanding targets. In this sense, there was little to lose. For most Tesla holders, believe in this deal. If Musk does get the 1 trillion, shareholders will have done very nicely indeed. Now, there's a great, clear statement. Brian Dunn, director of the Institute for Compensation Studies in Cornell University's School of Industrial and Labor Relations. Is Elon Musk an extraordinary individual? Yes, he is. Does the stock price reflect a reasonable multiple of earnings? No. The value of Tesla stock is clearly tied to a belief that something extraordinary will happen in the future. Is it worth 1 trillion of shareholder money to hope that that's not actually going to occur? I think not. By the way, it's not stockholder money, it's options. And this guy shouldn't be in charge of anything related to, what is it called here? To the Cornell University School of Industrial and Labor Relations of the compensation studies. Apparently, he doesn't believe in sales commissions. Mario Nawfal says this morning, while everyone obsessed over Chat GPT, Elon quietly built the third rail in the AI race. 𝐒𝐚𝐲 just raised another $22 billion, making the value of 𝐒𝐚𝐲 113 billion. Remember the 44 billion that Elon paid for it that was overpaid and everybody agreed it was really only worth about 20 billion? Well, now it's worth 113 billion. And everybody's thinking that Elon won't be able to pull off what he's planning to pull off at Tesla. Give me a break. And Grok 4 just dropped with, in Elon's words, terrifying post-grad level reasoning. So Grok 4 just dropped. What's that about? I have no idea. I have to go find out as soon as I'm done here. The model runs on Colossus's 200,000 GPUs that makes OpenAI clusters look like gaming rigs. It's got image analysis, predictive modeling, and multi-agent collaboration at $300 a month for the heavy tier. Then comes Grokopedia, Elon's Wikipedia killer, written entirely by AI. Version 0.1 launched with 800,000 articles. It's already drawing blood for bias corrections on everything from George Floyd to Elon himself and every culture war flashpoint you can imagine. JP Morgan called it the Musk moat. Vision, large following, and 17 billion in debt keep everyone on edge at 𝐒𝐴I. The bet, Grok becomes the anti-woke AI that conservative America migrates to while feeding 600 million users on X with real-time truth-seeking. And it's amazing. Grok now is amazing. And Grokopedia, absolutely stunning. All right, this is Randy Kirk. By the way, have you bought the book? Buy the book, buy the book. The audio version is out for those of you who are waiting, and it's got 30, I've been telling you, 29 5-star reviews. Come on, folks, buy the book. Consumer sentiment fell back about 6% this November, according to the Michigan School, I forget what it's called. Led by a 17% drop in current personal finances. That's impossible. Go back and check your figures, folks. You can't have a 17% drop in current personal financial. And now these are people saying, oh yeah, my personal finances have dropped through the floor in 1 month. Come on, go back and get more surveys before you put out nonsense like that. Does anybody here, have you taken surveys? Have you done statistical analysis? This is a red flag. Also, an 11% decline in year-ahead expected business conditions in 1 month. In 1 month, it's like, oh, the future business conditions are going to just be horrible. With the federal government shutdown dragging on for over a month, which everybody, even the liberal press, says is not impacting very much of the government, very much of commerce, consumers are now expressing worries about potential negative consequences for the economy. This month's decline in sentiment was widespread through the population, seen across age, income, and political affiliation. One key exception, consumers with the largest tercile, the largest, like the top 20% or whatever, of stock holdings posted a noticeable 11% increase in sentiment. People who are heavily invested in the stock market get it. Continued by continued strength in the stock markets. And interviews for this release closed prior to Tuesday's elections. Okay. Year-ahead inflation expectations inched up from 4.6 to 4.7. There's no way that inflation this year will be above 2.6, 2.7, and remain well below readings in May. Yeah. Long-run inflation expectations declined from 3.9 to 3.6, still super, like double what they're going to be long-term. These expectations are now below the midpoint of readings recently. All right, with continuing with our mixed bag of great news in the economy and not so great news in the economy, Truflation's numbers are starting to back away from these recent highs. So Truflation's overnight 2.54, that's well down. Goods 2.95, that's actually up a little bit. Core down to 2.27, that's down. Services down to 2.42, and the PCE down to 2.59. So overall, a very good reading. And Trump is still sitting at 46%. That's down 1 point from the other day. All right, so here we go. We have got the Dow Jones Industrial right now is down only 0.16%. It's rebounded a lot. Tesla is only down 2.63%. It was down over 4%. So it's back up to 434. NASDAQ was down more, and it's kind of wiggly though. It's having a little harder time catching its breath. It is at 1.12 negative, and the S&P down 0.62. This is very common where the markets open in the morning and they're all frustrated and angry, and then they reverse. Or the opposite. They wake up in the morning and they're like, oh boy, here we go. And by the end of the day, it's been taken away by some new news. So I'm thinking that maybe people are saying maybe that consumer sentiment index thing. People go, okay, we're going to get those cuts now in the Fed rates. All right, we've got the Magnificent Seven. Apple is actually up. The rest are down. Nvidia's down about the same as Tesla, which has been kind of normal lately. And the Cathie Woods are down almost across the board. The bond market, last time I checked, was moving. No, it's moved. See there? Maybe the consumer sentiment was the thing. Um, uh, con- the consumer sentiment headline nears lowest level ever as worries build about the slowdown, the shutdown, I mean. All right, the 10-year is down. It was up. It's down now, sitting at 4.087, down 0.6 of 1 basis point. The oil is up 22 cents, still now it's under $60. I missed yesterday, so I guess we dropped under $60 yesterday. Now we're bouncing back up towards 60 again. Natural gas is now back above 4 strongly, 4.339, but it's down 0.41 this morning. We have got gold up $7.30, but under 4,000. Silver up 0.23%, but still under $50. And copper down 0.23, under $5. So all of those are flirting around with round numbers. We've got Bitcoin down 289, very much flirting with a round number called 100,000. It's barely above it right now. And Ethereum rather, at down 0.27% at 3.30. 2.9. It's very close. Okay, those are the numbers. There was only one video, I think, all day yesterday, and that was I think was that Phil Beisel? Was it Brian Wang? Brian Wang, I think. Brian Wang with part two, talking about data centers in space, talking about the impact of this on Tesla before the meeting. Okay, we we produced that before Elon talked about it. The space thing is big. It's huge. And you should be paying attention to it. It's huge for Tesla for your future stock valuation. So go back and take a look at that. I'll post it right up there. And I think, oh yeah, later on today, I don't know. I'm going to try to have Larry on later today. I already have a Brian White that is recorded, so that'll be on later today. So with a little luck, there will be a Larry Goldberg interview later today, but he's traveling and I'm in Charlotte I just saw my little baby daughter, baby granddaughter for the first time. My baby daughter, scary. My baby granddaughter for the first time. Her name is Grace, yes. And she's, of course, as cute as she can be, and smiled at Poppy immediately. Immediately. Yeah, how about that? Buy the book, you'll make me smile. That's all I got for you right now. It's been great talking to you.